Hi, my name is Beth. Recently, my family and I spent 3 days visiting the must-see sites in Tokyo, Japan, and I thought that you might like to tag along. Our flight left Minneapolis around noon Central Time, and they immediately dimmed the lights to help us sleep and adjust to Japan time, 14 hours ahead. But with the anticipation and stiff seats, none of us got more than an hour of uninterrupted sleep, even with the mask they provided. 13 hours later, after several meals, movies, and a little turbulence, our flight landed. Around 3 p.m. local time at Tokyo Haneda International. We walked the travelator to get to customs more quickly. Saw some unique massage chairs, and officially entered Tokyo, Japan. Where we were greeted by a robot. We boarded a train to get to our first must-see stop. Shibuya Crossing. An incredibly popular pedestrian scramble crossing. Known for its oversized video screens and massive crowds. The statue of Hachiko is a popular meeting spot. A symbol of family loyalty, this dog met his owner at the train station here each day for about a year in the 1920s, and after the owner's death, Hachiko continued to look for him each day until his own death 9 years later. This area is often compared to New York's Times Square, and with advertisements bombarding you at every turn, it's easy to see why. Since 1963, Shibuya Crossing has been the world's biggest pedestrian crosswalk, with anywhere from 1,500 to 3,000 people crossing every 2 minutes. Vehicles in all directions stop and pedestrians flood the intersection. The Starbucks here is, not surprisingly, one of the world's busiest, with an amazing view, as you can see here. They even have traditionally dressed Starbucks baristas that they'll let you take home for around 40 bucks. Though there are countless local restaurants, for lunch we popped into a familiar one. The menu had the classics, but also some unique items like the Mushroom Whopper. It was fun to have a taste of home in such a wildly different setting. Shibuya is filled with fashion shops and nightclubs, along with pop culture stores like this Pokemon Center, displaying a life-size Mewtwo. Nintendo Tokyo, and Mandarake, 5 flights of stairs underground, filled with DVDs, Blu-rays, comics, and other collectibles. You could totally spend days exploring just Shibuya, but we had a tight schedule to keep, so we headed back to the train station. To get to the next attraction, we hopped on another train for a quick 15-minute ride to the city of Mitaka. Ghibli Museum, located in Inokashira Park, was a 20-minute walk from the station. Designed by studio founder Miyazaki himself, Ghibli Museum first opened on October 1st, 2001. The Sit Sprites were happy to see us. Reservations are required. Tickets go on sale 30 days in advance on their website, and they sell out very quickly. We were only able to get 2 tickets, and they went to our kids. We figured they would have the deepest appreciation of the 4 of us. They don't allow guests to use cameras inside the buildings. The idea is for visitors to become their characters and experience their lives without distraction. Mysterious. This was taken on the roof, and this right inside the walls. If you like the museum, click the link in the description below for a video featuring Ghibli Park near Nagoya. After regrouping with our kids, we caught yet another train to more quickly navigate to the Tokyo Skytree, which has 2 railway stations. At 2,080 feet, Tokyo Skytree, whose name was decided by national vote, is recognized by Guinness as the tallest tower in the world. It was completed on Leap Day in 2012, opened in May of that year, and its mascot, Sorokata-chan, greets you at the main entrance. The Skytree has a Tembo Galleria at 1,480 feet and a Tembo deck at 1,150 feet. It was 3,100 yen for both, or 2,100 yen for just the deck. On this one, the elevator walls were not made of glass, so they entertained us with a short light show on the ride up. Today, the clouds cooperated, so we were able to see the sunset. And we certainly weren't the only ones hoping for this. We were more excited, however, to see Mount Fuji ever so faintly in the distance to the southwest. Look closely. The Skytree features extensive views of the Sumida River as it runs through Tokyo, the world's largest city with a population of over 37 million people. You can even get a commemorative photo and holder. But the pictures really don't do it justice. When the sun goes down, the city comes alive. Tokyo, which covers 5,200 square miles, seems to go on in every direction. If you're afraid of heights, definitely don't step out on the glass floor. But seeing the city from this height is like looking down into a sea of stars. They have shops at the top and the bottom, so you can always pick up a little something. And you won't forget witnessing the nearly 2,000 LED lights that illuminate this broadcast tower at night. I know I never will. At its base, Tokyo Skytree Town hosts 300 shops and restaurants. We saw Hello Kitty Japan, the Freaks Store, Kirby Cafe, the store, and Kirby Cafe Tokyo, a Pokemon Center, and this fun store that features Studio Ghibli merch. Then we had to catch a train to our Airbnb to get rested up for Tokyo Disney. If you are interested in other towers in Japan, click on the link in the description below for that video. Having started our visit to Tokyo on the west side of town, we crossed to the east side via train. Our first glimpse of Tokyo Disney was from there. And there's the castle. Owned by the Oriental Land Company, Tokyo Disneyland and its sister park, Tokyo DisneySea, are the only Disney parks in the world not owned and operated by the Walt Disney Company. Tokyo Disneyland was modeled after the original Disneyland in Anaheim, California, with many of the same rides, but with a Cinderella castle, like the one in Walt Disney World, in Orlando, Florida. For this park, we bought weeknight passes, good from 5 to 9 p.m., so we headed straight to one of its most popular rides. One that you can't experience anywhere else, The Enchanted Tale of Beauty and the Beast. It was well worth the 2-hour wait, with a queue that creatively sent us around the castle grounds. In the main foyer, Belle was so lifelike. And the way the beast moved was alarmingly real. Later, we boarded Teacups for a trackless ride in, around, and through scenes and songs, the vehicle at times simulating camera movements from the film. Afterwards, my daughter and I went to see the Dreamlights Electrical Parade. It included more than 20 floats, all covered with millions of LED lights. Meanwhile, my husband and son ventured over to Star Tours in Tomorrowland to take advantage of the shorter lines. They practically walked right onto the ride. Then they jumped in line for the Monsters, Inc. Ride and Go Seek attraction. Unlike the Monsters, Inc. ride at Disneyland in California, here guests aim flashlights to activate special items and characters. We made the most of our evening tickets, fitting in some shopping, and making some unforgettable memories. Thankfully, guests were very open to snapping pictures for each other. After a good night's sleep, we enjoyed a full day at DisneySea. The gates opened at 9 a.m., but when you're staying at a Disney Resort hotel, they let you in up to an hour earlier. The race was on. We headed straight to Soaring Fantastic Flight, one of the park's most popular rides before the line got too long. The queue was an art museum about aviation. This ride was very much like the Soaring ride in the US. Thankfully, we only waited for about an hour. Next, we made our way to Mysterious Island to ride Journey to the Center of the Earth. We waited for about an hour, and the ride, based on the Jules Verne book, was fast and unique, but sadly brief and anticlimactic. Then it was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, the reimagined version, which seats 6 passengers. They are completely dry because, strangely, they don't actually go underwater. But they do a great job fooling your senses into thinking they do. To continue minimizing wait times on popular rides, we headed straight to the Lost River Delta by way of the Mermaid Lagoon. Indiana Jones kept the adrenaline pumping. It was similar to the one at Disneyland, California, only tailored to the 4th film in the series. In a word, the queue was creepy. The vehicle was like the original. I'm just not sure why they put my husband in the driver's seat. Afterward, it was nice to rest for a moment before exploring Mermaid Lagoon. They did an amazing job with Ariel's grotto. It was almost unreal, making you feel like you were under the sea, in part of her world. And of course, we had to compete in the Blowfish balloon race. Even though this is labeled as a kids area, it was the attraction I enjoyed most at DisneySea. Inspired, we boarded one of the park's transit steamliners for a tour of DisneySea by sea. From the Mediterranean harbor, we crossed into the American waterfront. Tokyo Bay is just beyond that wall, by the way. Then we cruised by the Cape Cod Harbor and Lighthouse, and passed by Port Discovery into the Lost River Delta. Next, we breezed by the Arabian coast and into Mermaid Lagoon, unique from every angle. Then we got a closer look at that submarine in the middle of Mysterious Island, and finally slipped by the 3-mast ship back into the Mediterranean harbor. We couldn't resist taking a quick family photo in front of Mount Prometheus, the iconic center of DisneySea. After nightfall, wind, and rainfall, we explored Story Mania in our festive Disney ponchos. The ride is the same as the ones in America, but somehow my daughter beat me. Lastly, we witnessed Believe, Sea of Dreams in the Mediterranean harbor. This 360-degree experience was easily the best live Disney show that I've ever seen. To see more of Tokyo Disney Resort, please click on the link in the description below for the extended video. The next morning, we packed up and boarded a plane for our next adventure. But that's another story. We hope you enjoyed traveling with us, that you'll take a minute to give this video a thumbs up, and that you'll go ahead and subscribe. You won't want to miss future trips where you can tag along. For those of you who have already been to Tokyo, take a minute and let us know your must-see attractions in the comment section below. And for those of you who haven't been yet, let us know what most interested you from today's video. And see the links to the attraction websites in the description below for more information. Until next time, this is Beth, encouraging you to have an adventure all your own.
Perfect.
That's hilarious.